Yes, I'm live. Yeah, I came on 2 minutes early, but what 2 minutes? Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to another live stream. A thing that is getting... This girl is bloody good. Which girl? Hang on. Let's make sure Rocky can get in and out before we start. There we go. Right, good evening everybody. I can start now. Oh yeah, Cena is a good drummer. Anyway, good evening everybody. Welcome to live stream. Been another busy week, sorting out the new show, that sort of thing, giving Dave a new task. We'll talk about that in a bit. So what have you been watching? So in the last 7 days, we've had 1,549 views in the last 7 days, 9 brand new subscribers. Hi, Alan. Welcome. 9 new subscribers. So if you're a new subscriber and you're going to watch this later, welcome to the channel and thank you very much for subscribing. So what have you been watching then? Well, coming in at number 3, making a rare hello Nick, making a rare appearance again is Meatloaf's album ranking at 47 views. And straight into number 2 from last week, the Rolling Stones ranking show, 129. But the top one last week, and I'm chuffed, and so is Mastermind Dave. The live stream from last week, 223 people have actually watched it. And thank you very much. It looks like people are starting to get to know that we're going to be here on Thursdays. 8 o'clock, British summertime. So what's the month been like for the last 28 days? So we're up to, in the last 28 days, we've had 6,885 views, 29 new subscribers. There's not much change in the orders. It's the Weekend is still there at 247. The album review of An Hour Before Dark at 327. Def Leppard is still at the top at 459. Now the big one, because today's the 14th of April, so 1 month today will be 1 year old. I'm having a special live stream that day of a party. So we've now had 74,802 views and we've got 408 subscribers to the channel. And good evening, Charles. Good evening, Mick. They're all part of this little family now. We're getting bigger and bigger. Nothing's changed in the rankings. Jethro Tull, So Shanna Sleeping is 3296. The actual status Jethro Tull albums is 3363. And miles out in front, Other Quo at 5,238. So that's what's been going on. So I better tell you about what we're doing next week. Although it's Bank Holiday Monday, I'm still going to be here. So we're going to start off with it's a viewer's request, but it's a mate's request. My friend Neil is into a band called Stryper. They're a Christian metal band, and they are pretty good. So I'll be ranking the albums of Stryper. Classic album next week is a good little album. It was only a one-off because they went on and filmed another band. We're going to be looking at the only album by Crosby, Stills and Nash. Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. And then on Tuesday, this is a viewer's request, but it's also a fellow YouTuber. Richard McCook asked me to do T-Rex, so I've split it up. We're going to do Tyrannosaurus Tyrannosaurus Rex first. So, and then probably the next week we'll do T-Rex. Retro ranking next week. We go back to the old formula. My favourite songs by the Stray Cats. A little bit of rockabilly for us next week. Then Wednesday is Marathon Wednesday, of course, and we're going to be tackling the solo albums of Mr. Paul McCartney in the final part of the Paul McCartney story. Well, it is the final bit, but it's not, because the following week we've got a little surprise. Then and now we're looking at progressive metal band Opeth on Thursday. Artwork ranking is the AOR band Boston. We'll be here next week with news, views, and Rocky barking and wanting to go to the toilet and all that usual good stuff. Then next Friday, live albums. We're doing the mighty Saxon, which is tough because they've not put out a bad album on the live scene. They're all great. And the one-off album next week is the Lars. Anyone remember the Lars? So we'll be looking at them. So that's what's coming up next week. No. They're here. They're very tiny ones. Very, very tiny. So he'll think that he's getting loads and he's only getting little bits. There she goes. Yes. Charles. Good news, Charles. I've only got one Depeche Mode album to listen to. And I'm going to listen to that Saturday. So watch out for Depeche Mode in the next few weeks. I've also been listening to Chrome this week. Well, that's a bit weird and wonderful. Hold on. Time for a sip of the stuff. Now, this one I'm going to have to sip slow. I got it out the fridge. It's called Too Much something. Pouring it, and I looked at the side of the can, and it said 6%. So I'm going to drink that rather slow, or I'll be slurring my words and talking gibberish. No, he's where is he now? He's the other side of the screen looking at me. He doesn't need to go anywhere because he went just before we started. He's had everything he's supposed to have. You can set the clock by Rocky. He likes his tea round about 3:30. Up until 3:15, he's flat out. And he'll get up, stretch his legs, have a yawn, and then start barking for tea. I was talking about Rocky today on the Then and Now Pink Floyd. When I put on Seamus, well, didn't know that one, Charles. You're another man of information. Yeah, as I was saying, when you put Seamus on and the dog howls, so does Rocky. He barks at the iPod station. It's quite funny. Even in dogs, Pink Floyd animals, he does. So what else have I been listening to this week? Well, we've listened to quite a lot of The Cure. They're near enough done. I listened to some more Jam this week. They've got what a great band they are. I've listened to some Dire Straits, as we were speaking about last week. As there's not so many albums, I've listened to a couple of the studio albums. So we're going to do studio albums first. I've had one sort of silly rant this week by somebody, and it was quite funny. He was watching the orchestra. He picked me up for not saying Kelly Grouchcut's name properly. And then he told me I was amateurish and poor. Now, he spelled poor, P-U-O-R. I mean, I chopped him up. But before I let him go, I went, if you're going to complain about me, please spell properly. Yes, never mind. Yes, he is the Wally of the week. Saying I'm amateurish and poor. Well, he got that right. I'm an amateur. I don't get paid for this. Poor? Yeah, poor drinks, but I'm not that poor because I can't be that bad because lots of people still watching it. So, I don't care. If he wants to be an idiot, he can be an idiot. But please, if you're going to complain about me, get your spellings right. I know I sometimes goof, but then again, I'm only human. Anyway, has anyone who hasn't watched the Stinkers album covers yet? If you haven't, it's a must. But we have got 2 more coming up. As you know, this year it's the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, which is 70 years as our Queen. And wow. Thanks, Mick. Oh, I'm a bit gobsmacked at that. Thank you. Wow. I don't know what to say about that. I know I do it a little bit different to them guys, but, you know, we all do it differently. I don't want to be another Pete and I don't want to be another Barry. You know, they do their own thing and I do my thing. Which gives all the people... That gives people a variation of what they watch. I mean, I watch Barry and I watch Pete. I hope they watch me. But yeah, we all do it different. And you see, Pete's got the American side covered and I do the Brit side. He comes across like that, does Barry, but he's quite a jovial bloke. I mean, he does Stinker album covers. It's amazing I do them and people they're jumping on my bandwagon. Anyway, talking of Stinkers. So me and Dave are going to do probably 30 of the best covers from the last 70 years. And then we're going to do 30 of the worst. And there may be some that we've already included on previous shows. But as it's a special celebration, we're going to throw them all in because in the past, we have had some absolutely brilliant ones. I mean, we're going to put the Christmas ones in. Has anyone watched it? Because I want to talk about one of them now on the from this afternoon. Yeah, that means we've got to go through 60 covers. And that's going to be big enough as it is. We're going to have to sit down and talk to she who can't be mentioned. But I've actually switched her off this end. But as Dave knows, he can phone me on her. I can answer it. I'm sitting in my lounge and it picks it up the one in the bedroom. 35. Okay, if you want to do 35, I'm happy to do 35. I'll do 105. I'm obsessed with bad album covers. I Love the Onions. Yeah, that was brilliant. Yeah, I saw the back cover as well. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, one of my favourites was Old Dick Handler. I should be crucified. But the number one was just absolutely amazing. They found that one. And when I found, oh my God, that was horrendous. But some of them. Good evening, Ralph. You're a new person. Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That is one of my favourite album covers. I think when I did the Magnum album artwork cover, that was number one. And I think it's quite high in my favourite album covers. I love that cover. So where are you from, Ralph? Are you a UK or somewhere dotted in the world? Our furthest person that comes into the live stream is Mick, or MN on there, and he's from sunny California. Anyway, I shall watch all the Stinker videos just to make note of the ones from them shows that I want to include. I reckon Atomic Atom Heart Mother will be there, because you know how much I hate that cover. Hang on, I'm getting a little bit warm, so I'm going to have to take my jumper off. Close your eyes, everyone. Oh, that's better. Southern Italy, very nice. What are you doing in Italy? Very nice. I like Italy. I've never been to Italy. It's one country I need to go to. So, right. The 14th of... Here he goes. The 14th of May, RTO's birthday. I'm gonna do a Q&A. So get all your questions ready for me. And I'm sure Dave will be I'm sure you can ask him stuff as well. He won't mind answering. So a bit of a Q&A, a bit of a party, have a beer, and just chill over rock and roll music. I've been listening to some really interesting stuff this week as well. He knows there's something here. Come here then. Trouble. Let's put them on the floor for him. That'll keep you quiet for 5 minutes. I've just had a pop-up from my Facebook page. In my local area, someone says, does anyone know of a cash machine not working? Yeah, don't to keep. Yeah, I think that's right. Personal stuff is off limits, ish. If we see anything, we'll say. If you don't answer, you know why. So I'm not stopping tomorrow. Good Friday. I'm doing shows. I'm having Saturday and Sunday off. Catch up on some sport. I'm sure I'll find some sport. Last weekend was just good sport. Lots of Six Nations ladies. Grand Prix, Indy Grand Prix. I was quite happy. Yeah. Also been listening to some albums ready for, or songs that I'm going to be doing a retro ranking on them. One hit wonders. Some of them songs that one blast and they would disappear into yonder. So that's coming up sometime in June, I think, because it's taken me a little while. I started listening to some Rick Wakeman this week as well, and some stuff that I'd never heard, and I thought, woo, this is hoopy. Very hoopy, especially some of that 70s stuff. But I think the biggest one I listened to this week was the first album by Chrome. That is really weird. Why have I only got it on the... Let's go with that. That's better. Anyway, what we got behind us tonight? We've got PG3, Slow Hand, the Made in Japan Strange Frontier. And on the other one, we got the Killing Fields and a compilation album from Status Quo called Matchstick Men. And it actually says on the cover, which is quite amusing, electronically processed stereo. Which is a good laugh. As you can see, the old boys down here. What? Do you want to come up? Come on then. You just want to get on the camera again, don't you? He just wants to sit and join in, don't you? Put your touch there. Yeah, that's it. Here's Scruff and Muffin. Start off. It wouldn't be the phony quad. Now I've got some quad albums. I've got Mike Oldfield boxes in quad. But the best stuff is for surround sound is the Marillion box sets. They sound amazing, especially Clutching at Straws. And some live stuff that's okay, but the Clutching at Straws is good a lot on the surround. Yeah, when I was doing the Pink Floyd Then and Now for Tigers at the Gate of Dawn, give the track listing, and then it got the album, and then it got the Super Track 8. Yeah, it was very hoopy. Right, now you've said hello. Are you going to go and sit down and be quiet, or do you want to sit with me? He just doesn't like. He doesn't like the idea of me not fussing him. So unfortunately, he'll probably want to stay up here until he gets bored. Yes, you're on YouTube, Rocky, again. What? Oh, he can smell something. I know what he can smell. I don't know. You're getting a bit heavy for sit on my lap when I'm doing this. There's Rocky. Oh, thank you very much. That's what I really needed. Rocky is a rock star. Yeah, he's been a legend since we started. We used to also have Marley as well, but sadly Marley is no longer with us. She was a very poorly doggy. She ended up with pancreatitis. And we had to have her put to sleep in September, and Rocky still misses his pal. If you've ever seen any of the stuff I did when Marley was still with us, because she was younger, she'd jump up all over the place. See her just pumping up like this. The bouncing ball of fluff. Yeah, she was the bouncing ball of fluff, was Marley. Always happy, always smart, always wagging her tail, causing a draft, didn't she, Rock? Well, that's a serious look. Anyway, has anyone got any good plans for Easter? I'm just going to have a rest. I've got Lee coming around on Bank Holiday Monday after I've done the shows, but I'm going to have a complete rest. I've been working hard this week to get stuff ready for next week's shows, so I can have a really chilled out few days. I've just got tomorrow's recording to do and editing, and that's it. So hopefully by 1 o'clock, I'll be done. Feet up and watching whatever's on telly, or catching up on stuff that I've been watching and reading books. I did watch an interesting film on Netflix, music related, called The Dirt, and it's about Motley Crue. Bad acting, as usual, but I don't know how much of that is true, but it was entertaining. It's not the worst. Oh, nice. Yeah, the worst one I've watched is the one about Def Leppard. Oh, it's cringeworthy, but it's that bad it's good, if you know what I mean. It's supposed to be shot in Sheffield, but it was filmed in the United States. And the first gig he did was supposed to be, it was at Donington. And how do I know that? Oh, over there. And it was done in the inside hall, which was quite comical. I really do get these films, these biography films. I even picked up on Bohemian Rhapsody because they were doing a song. I can't remember. the date and when the song come out just didn't connect properly. And I think when they were doing We Will Rock You, Freddie'd already got his little moustache, and they did We Will Rock You on the News of the World. So that was all wrong. I'm terrible at picking up things and continuity. I think the other continuity that I really pick up on is when it comes to railway engines, especially steam engines. You're watching these films, a train goes in a tunnel of one engine, it comes out a totally different engine at the other end. But that's one of my sad hobbies, railways. So I do pick up things like that. It's like I was watching an episode of Shakespeare and Hathaway. They were at this station and they were actually using a station that's on the Gloucestershire and Warwickshire Railway. But they were very clever. They'd show a bit of a modern day train going somewhere, and then they'd see everyone taking pictures of it afterwards. It's quite funny. Yes. Anyway, back to the music. This new show. Put it this way, I've done the first one, and it's going to be the first Thursday in May. And as I said last week, I would like you guys to put your input onto it. I'm going to give you the two albums. I'm going to give you my opinions. But then through the week, I want you guys to watch it and put which album you prefer out of the two. And then on the live stream, I will just announce the winner, the proper winner. So it's my opinion. I'm going to put it out there, in my opinion. And you guys are going to do the work as well. Bit of interaction. A little bit more interaction between us all. Just get your brains thinking instead of me doing it. Battle of the Debutantes, yeah. I've done one, and I've got the second one lined up. I think I've got the third, so I've nearly got all of May's done. There's a bit more variation there. How I'm going to do it? The albums could be years apart, but they're from that same genre. That people have said, oh, these sound like these when the later ones. So you're going to put the two albums up against each other. Also, you're going to get some proper clashes of debut albums. I found quite a few that come through. I've gone through some of the years and I found two albums very similar. So there's plenty out there for us to do. It's like I found this site for bad album covers, and boy, there's some even worse ones than what we found. Ours was just done with Google, but this is someone's actually done a site of all that sort of stuff. So, what else have we been doing? Trying to create a better filing system for starters, because my filing system's still on paper. I really need to put it all on the computer, especially when I do my ranking things. But I prefer to do that by pencil, I think, because it's easier just to rub out and move everything up and down. Whoops, I've done it again, haven't I? Terrible at that. There we go. Oh, Rocky, you can see Rocky's treats in the corner. They're not very big. He thinks he's getting loads. I mean, they're no bigger than that. Ooh. Shut up. Yeah, then. Have your Scooby snacks. He was ever so funny this morning. When I was recording this morning, in this morning, the sun shines through the bedroom window, and he's got a little bed that I'll put down just here. So when I'm recording or working in here, he can sit with me because he likes to be with me wherever I am. Now, this morning, the little bed he's on was not in the sun. So he got off and he pulled it round and then got back on it in the sun. And he tickles me when he does things like that. Yes, I did rattle the bag. He's quiet now. But it wouldn't be a live stream without Rocky, would it? If he weren't making some sort of noise. So, anyone else know of any bad album covers that should be in the 70 worst 35 worst covers? You wait a long time, Charles. Don't do that rubbish. Although I might do White Stripes. I think that's the nearest to the modern stuff I'd do. I did say in the Pink Floyd, does anyone want an album ranking of Pink Floyd? In fact, I'm going to try something. See what happens. I've never tried this. It's always sitting there, so I'm going to do it now. Spell. Yes, Rocky. Here we go. I've just put up a poll. Let's see if this works. Probably not, because Has something come up, folks? It hasn't been suggested yet. Would you like one, Charles? Yes. Hey. There's one for Pink Floyd. And yes, two. I'll have to listen to some Pink Floyd. What a shame. That'll upset Rocky when we put Seamus on. So we'll definitely do Pink Floyd. Yeah. And U2. Yeah, we'll do U2 as well. I like that because that one's quite big. Pink Floyd will be easy enough. Nearly listened to all the Kansas albums, one left, and one Blue Oyster Cult album. Yeah, that was in Fanny. Yeah, that album. Yeah, Echoes. I love Echoes. Bing! I like the live. There's some great live versions of that. Gov Mule fans, I've never heard of them. One thing you'll learn here, Ralph, that as you talk, I have a little pad here, and on it I write things like Gov Mule fans. Never heard of them. I'll give them a check out, unless Mastermind Dave's looking them up. One thing, that's Dave. Dave Keogh. He's got a nickname on here of Mastermind Dave because he sits there at the Fanny. I like that. I think there's one of the covers today, and it's something about my sweet Fanny or something. I can't remember now. As I said, in America, Fanny is a bum, someone's bum, but in England, Fanny is the lady down below. Because I remember watching a film. I mean, you got legs. Was it? You've got. It says down to a fanny. And when I first heard that, it was hilarious. But there's a film I've got, Armed and Dangerous, and Meg Ryan says he had his hands all over my fanny and rolled around the room. Now, why have I heard the name Warren Haynes? That name rings a bell. Talking of weird stuff, the Bangles, yes, they're coming up. They are coming up when we do, I do the monthly, once a month, we do side project. That's what, it's that Warren Haynes, right? Okay. Well done, Dave. Yes, we'll do some government. You're listening to Rocky, yeah. Apparently, it's apparent that dash hounds are always like this. Any person that's got a dash hound I meet, they say the same. They whinge, moan, and groan all the time. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I mean, I know I'm doing the Allman Brothers, so Warren Haynes. Yeah, that's why I've heard of him. Yeah, we do. Bangles are being done on a Ladies' Day. Rocky needs the dose of his rock music. Well, he's been listening to some today. I had to pop out today, and when I'm out, I'll leave music on and I have Planet Rock on for him. I mean, when I come back in, it was Rainbow's Long Live Rock and Roll. But anything with a dog on it, he tends to howl. Because I don't know if he thinks there's a dog in the house. But Seamus is one of these. I'd love to actually put it on and let you, but some idiot will probably take me off air or put Seamus on. Because I'm infringing copyright and all that stupid stuff. But I'd just to put it on and you could hear him barking at it. It's hilarious. Yeah, yes, that's coming up in a Ladies' Day, as I said, Bangles. Been listening to some more Pat Benatar this week, which has been enjoyable. Our next Ladies' Day will be next soon, and that is it's a band with two ladies in it, an American band, two sisters, one of my favourite bands. No, I don't know what they were actually thinking with Seamus. The one that really gets me is two furry animals in a cardboard box with a pict or something. What's that about? Yeah, I will, Ralph. I always listen to what people suggest. It's like me when I put the obscure stuff on here. You watch it, and hopefully you'll go and give it a listen. Like we've had bands like Sky Architect, Kings of the Sun, them sort of bands. Has anyone watched the Fireman ranking that I did this week? Because I actually gave my first ranking of naught ever. I've never given a naught, but one album I had to because it was just crap. Yeah, I know it is just one of the worst albums I've ever heard. So go and watch it to see what one it is. There's only 4, and it's the first one, obviously. I've never slated an album off as much as I did that. It was just pants. One word to describe it. Yeah, I've got down Fanny as well. That'll keep us going. Listen to some more Tears for Fears. I'm going to make a confession. I'm really getting into them big time. I've always liked their sort of single stuff, but I'm actually enjoying their albums. Never thought I'd say that. But I really appreciate the work of them two guys. Some fantastic musicians. Know how to write a good pop song. Bit like Talk Talk. Didn't believe that. And I'm actually liking, and I think Charles will like this, I'm actually liking some of them later Depeche Mode albums. They're fantastic. I mean, I always appreciate good music, but some of them later Depeche Mode albums are fantastic. Blind Only by Fanny. Okay, Mick, I will be doing that probably tomorrow while I'm piddling about. I might put it on Saturday. Listen to some Budgie as well this week. That's coming on nicely. Hard though. Started listen to the last of the Eric Clapton. Better song than I Love Onions. Yeah. I did tend to, when I did listen to some of these songs, the ones I could find. On that one, it was shockingly, I think. The other one I was like, was it Mad Dog thing with the Wolverine on steroids? Anyway, did anyone get the joke about the snoods, the Deirdre Barlow glasses? Mick, when you watch it, if you want to think, just put Deirdre Barlow Coronation Street into YouTube. There's going to be a clip of her. She has got glasses that are like this. They make Elton John's look small. Yeah, the other guy we might put was his name Emil Fuckmugger or something. I don't know. Like bad language on this show tonight. It's a good job it says it's not for children. I think one of these days, when that week leading up to the anniversary of the channel, there'll be normal programs, but there'll be more about things I listen to. There will be a status quo one that week, I can guarantee, because that was the first show I did. So I've got to do something on status quo, and I found something that we haven't covered about status quo. So I should be doing that. I might actually do an album ranking of my favourite albums ever and the worst albums I've ever heard. Just a bit different for the birthday week. And I'm still intending to try and do some sort of quiz on a live stream. I sort of tried to do one, but it was all at the time of my move. And to be quite honest, no one didn't. I made all these answer sheets that I could send you all, but no one was interested. But now there's more people watching this, I might do a quiz at some stage. Because Dave and I used to do quizzes in one of the local pubs. We created a pub quiz from scratch. And it was very successful. We used to have big prizes and from the landlord, and we won't say where he got the stuff from. Probably knocked off. So we might do a little quiz at some stage. Bit of fun in it. Test your music knowledge. I've got an idea to do it like a live picture one, which would be quite interesting. Well, the dachshund's now gone back to sleep, so we'll probably hear him snoring in a minute. Well, I'm doing Stone Roses top 10 songs, and I have done album rankings for 2 albums. I will do the Stone Roses. I mean, when I was doing them singles, Charles, they were brilliant. Really enjoyed that one, and I have listened to them 2 albums, and I quite enjoyed them. So yeah, I'll do the Stone Roses 2 albums. See, these very short ones are real ideal when I have a week where there's, and you know, for Marathon Wednesdays, it's anything over 14. So now and again we get ones 14. So when you're doing 3 shows of album rankings in the live one, now and again it's nice to slip in a small one like that. Well, I could put, yeah, I'll have a look at that and see if I can put things, because normally as well, when we have short ones, I put honourable mentions in. It's like we did on Monday with David Coverdale. He had his 3 solo albums, and I included as an honourable mention the David Coverdale's Snakebite, which you've got that. We had that EP that he did with Whitesnake and a few of the best songs off North Winds. It wasn't an official Whitesnake album, and it's not an official David Coverdale solo album, so it sits in the middle, and I've always wanted to do a bit about that because it's got a couple of my favourite songs on there, so that's where I shoved that one in. That could happen with the Stone Roses, put it in as an honourable mention, or if it's an album that's worth a rank, be careful what I said there, I'll pop it in. But yeah, Stone Roses, very underrated band, and it's a band that people sort of don't say much about now. I mean, I remember when they were out. Iain, the Coverdale and Page, Alan, I did it as a one-off album. I don't know if Dave could actually go and find it and put the link in for you. Yeah, it's on the. If you just put in search Coverdale and Page, it's there, because I love that album. So it's compilation albums. I'll have a look at that. Thank you, David. We'll have a look at that. Yeah, it is there, Alan. I think I did it a long time ago, so it'll probably be amateurish. And it may have even been done when I hadn't got my webcam that I've got now. When I first started this, I had to do it on my video camera because I hadn't got the camera and the mic. 9 months ago. God, that is a long time. Never. I remember when that come out. I'll tell you what I have got, and it is a dodgy copy. They did a tour, and it was recorded in Japan. It's absolutely brilliant. 1993. Oh, God. It's a brilliant album. It's a bit like one of the Coverdale solo albums. I think it's better than Restless Heart that came out previous, and that should have been a solo album, but the contracts and record companies. Yeah, my favourite track on there is. Ooh, what is it? It's Over Now. I like. Love that guitar solo on that. Love that arrangement, sort of a Kashmiri sort of thing. I can't think of the other one I like off that. It's the slow one. That real nice slow one. See, I can tell you the second show. I don't know if you've watched that one, Alan, if you're into him. I did rank the Cozy Powell albums. What I will do, I'm going to have to sort out the videos a little bit better so people can find them. Don't Believe Me, That's It. Thanks, Alan. Yeah, it's a brilliant track. See, I haven't got anything like that in front of me. And if I'm technical, but I could actually shut everything down if I'm quite honest, and I'm not prepared to do that. But that's why I have got Dave. He does all that for me. Yeah, that is a great song. Love that song. It's a shame them two didn't make two more records. I should have toured over here. Yeah, Cozy Powell, one of my favourite drummers. Yeah, it did. The grunge scene sort of ruined music. I think it was, what album was I doing this week? Was it last week? And I did actually say there wasn't much going on in the music thing, and I found something else to listen to. I can't remember what it is. It's terrible. I can't remember what I've done and what I haven't done. How bad's that? Let's have a look on my list, see if I can jog my memory from last week. It's not on that one because that's this week. Here we go. Yes, I'll tell you what it was. I got started listening to White Stripes because it was the nearest thing to rock that actually sounded like rock. Yeah, I saw Cozy Powell drum. Saw him with the one and only Mr. Brian May. Awesome stuff. I think I was at that. That was at the gig. That was the live album, live at the Brixton. Yeah, it was. It was live at Brixton Academy. I'd have loved to have seen Emerson, Lake and Powell, because that album is a great album. Yeah, it is a great live album, Alan. It was great to be there. Because that beginning of that album, that guitar bit that's on one of the solo albums is amazing live. I did a show, I don't know if you've seen it, Alan, on the Brian May solo projects. And I included the Starfleet EP on that. That's great. I haven't told Dave this. I thought I'd wait till today. I started listening to some of the two cellos as well. Yeah, I saw them. I saw them twice in '87. Pink Floyd. I saw them at Wembley. Come out high as a kite because there were so many people smoking pot. And the other place I saw them was Docklands. I was talking about that album obviously today, and a momentary lapse of reason. The drum in the original album is absolutely, sound quality is rubbish. But when they remixed it and put Nick on the drums, it's better. Even the tracks that I'm not keen on. But I'm not going to go too much into that now because we'll be doing an album ranking. That's going to be tough. What's going to be at the top of that one? I know exactly what bottom is. And it isn't The Endless River. Because I'm one of the Pink Floyd fans that actually likes that album. If you watch the Then and Now video of it, you'll see why. Yeah, I don't know how many that we're nearly up to 500 videos. Oh, you did well, yeah. I'm not going to say anything. There was a saying that the House of Cards, Francis Urquhart used to say. What was it? Come on, Dave. You're the. What did he used to say to the camera? Old Francis Urquhart, the dodgy Prime Minister, Ian Richardson, whatever it is. But yeah, that's near the bottom-ish. See, I think the most heaviest song that Pink Floyd done was the Nile. That's more like a heavy metal track. What can I say about the Final Cut? Bad Pink Floyd album, a pretty good Roger Waters album. There you go. That's how I would describe that one. It's like this week, if you haven't watched, I mean, as you know, I do all requests, and I did Megadeth this week. Yeah, Charles, it's hard. It is really hard. I love them all. I hate it when 477 videos. God. Yeah, he did. It is, and I totally agree with Pete on that one. It is the heaviest song that they ever did. It's even heavier than Not Now John off the Final Cut. Which, apart from all the swearing, there's one half decent tracks on that album. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy doing that one because I've got to really sit down and listen to them. Oh, what a pain. Sit and listen to all the Pink Floyd albums again. Oh. Yes, you may think that, but I couldn't possibly comment. That's it. And that's what I'm going to stick to because it'll spoil it. You're going back to Megadeth. Real eye-opener that was for me because I'm not the greatest. I said on the show, I'm not the greatest thrash metal lover. Never was. But I've appreciated some of their later stuff. But I got slammed because someone said that So Far, So Good, So What is the worst album. Even worse than Risk. That was a pile of turd, that was. I actually like that album more. I think it's got some great tracks on it. But I'll warn you now, folks, I will be slating some of the Pink Floyd songs off because there's some that I just don't like. And I'll sit there going, why is this on this album? Because it's crap. I love loads of bands, but sometimes they have done a pile of rubbish. I'll refer you to the above quote. Yeah, there are some. Oh, yeah. I like the live stuff better. It's that Cyrus I can't get on with it. I really struggle with that. As you will find out when I talked about it today. Because it's hard. That is hard work, that album. The one track that I really can't I don't know if I can't remember it's on that one or the I know it's on Atom Heart Mother in it. The frying bacon. What's all that about? Behave. I don't want to hear people frying bacon. I want music. If you want to hear frying bacon, go and buy one of them sound effect records. Talking of them, I knew someone that actually collected those. The BBC sound recording albums of all sounds. He had hundreds of the bloody things. How sad is that? I couldn't believe it. I shouldn't take the mickey out of people's hobbies because people must think I like trains. I'm weird. You've got a confession. Come on then, spill the beans, Alan. You're amongst friends. See what Alan's confession is. Well, as long as you enjoy it, mate. I've got some weird albums, I'll tell you. I mean, The Bloodied Sword must be one of the weirdest albums I've got. Used to play it in the dark. Albums I like playing in the dark. I like playing Bat Out of Hell in the dark. And the Sky album, Sky One, that's good in the dark. Tommy's good in the dark. Yeah, as you see, I did do Tommy this week as a soundtrack. But again, I've sort of been debating if we should do The Who as a full album ranking. Yeah, I've got that's great. Black Sabbath's Born Again. That's a great album. Very underrated, our Black Sabbath album. I love it how people slate that album. It makes me laugh. You got probably one of the greatest guitarists in metal and one of the best rock singers working together. I think Ian Gillan was brilliant on that album. Some of his finest screeching. I mean, I love Digital Bitch. I think that's great. Zero the Hero. It's one of the worst covers in the world, though. Ugh. Wow. It's a great album. I think that album should be remixed because the production on it, that's what spoils it, is lousy. But if you've heard some of the live stuff of that album, it's immense. I mean, what I like about that album, the live stuff, it's got Bev Bevan playing drums, and people laugh. Oh, Bev Bevan. But Bev Bevan, when he hits drums, he hits them hard. He's a great drummer. I mean, he used to play all that delicate stuff in ELO and the Move and that, but there are clips of him on YouTube playing in Black Sabbath, and he's absolutely on fire. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, so we've been doing a listen to a bit of Saxon this week, obviously. And I'm amazed. I listened to one of the live albums that it's called The Greatest Hits Live. It's got all the classics. Listen to that. Biff sounding absolutely on fire. And then I listened to Live in Wacken, which was recorded mid-2000s. And he did Heavy Metal Thunder, and his voice hasn't changed from doing it in 1990 to 2000 and whatever. It's absolutely brilliant. I did download this week The Eagles Landed 40. It's a great album. Okay, it's got 40 odd tracks on, but they're all classics and some of them are repeated, but they're from all different stages of their career. Has anyone seen Saxon, or am I the only sad person that's seen Saxon? I saw him, I think, 86, something like that. 85, 86. Great gig that was. I love Saxon. And the thing with Saxon is, at one stage they were more popular than Iron Maiden. Oh, that's interesting, Tony. Do you think he'll actually remix it? Because I know that he wasn't happy with that original mix. That'd be an album to have, the remastered remix version of Born Again. I mean, I know they've sort of done a remaster of it, but I think it just needs stripping down properly. I mean, Bill Ward actually drums on that, doesn't he? So you got that classic backroom Sabbath of Geezer, Tony, and Bill, and Ian singing on it. It was brilliant. Oh, I shall look forward to that when that comes out. Oh, in other news, this will interest if it's sort of musically related. Apparently, I heard today. And does anyone remember watching the Monkees on TV, the TV show? The good news is that it's coming out on a remastered Blu-ray, the series. Yeah, I did see that. The Jam book. Oh, that'll be an interesting read. I was listening to some Jam today. What was I listening to? I think it was the third album I was listening to today. The one that's got Eaton Rifles on it. Absolutely brilliant album. Let's have a look. Yeah, Setting Suns. That's the one I listened to today. I think everybody loved the Monkees. One of them TV shows that was on over here in the UK when I was a wee lad. It was on during the week. We used to have programs like that, and the Flashing Blade is Rocky knocking down the backdrop. You knocking down the backdrop? Do you want to go out? What's up? Yes. Go on then. That's going to fall down in a minute. Oh, naughty Lord. Technical problem. Whee! You've upset the apple cart now, Rob. There we go. Oh, dear. Sorry about this, folks. I know, we'll use that to prop it up. That's it. Okay, shall we lay on bets? How long before Rocky starts barking at me? Well, there's a bat. Wishbone Ash. Yeah, I like Wishbone Ash. Crocus. Whoa! There's a blast from the past. Five minutes. He's having a good old moan. He didn't last 5 minutes. What? Come here. Yes, you're knocking everything down tonight, aren't you? There we go. If I give him a few of these, it'll keep him quiet. Must get some more of them. They are. They're healthy ones as well, so they're not bad for him. They're fat-free and everything else. Yeah, I'm going to do a Wishbone Ash at some stage. But we've got Blue Oyster Cult coming up in Kansas as well. We've got U2 to do now. That's going to be an entertaining one. So I haven't brought anything past Zooropa. But I can listen to it on Spotify. Anyway, that main one is actually the original EP. That is the Japanese import. I thought I'd dust it off. Come here. Come here, you. Yeah, Wishbone Ash. I don't know how many albums they've had. That's going to be a big one. I bet I'll find out how many studio albums Wishbone Ash have released. I think the biggest one we've done is Hawkwind, 34, but we split that one up for obvious reasons. I'm going to do a Thunder live album, but show, but they're going to be my albums again because there's too many, far too many to listen to. I mean, the Saxon, you're going to get the full whack because I've got them all. I think there's only about 9 or 10. And tomorrow we got ELO, everything to do with ELO, ELO 2, 24. Yeah, we've done 24 before in one go. Golden Earring. Oh yeah, that was the guy that told me I was boring. I did. And no one wants to listen to someone chat about every track on 24 albums. Well, obviously they do, because the Golden Earring video is quite popular. There's always these people that comment that when you go and look at who they are, they've got no subscribers and they haven't put nothing up themselves. Yes, I do like them, Ralph. The band that Luke did between the first breakup and his band Between Thunder. Yeah, they made 3 good albums, which I've got. Yes, I am going to rank them, but it's getting round to it. Yeah, we were going to do the band The Union. Pretty cool. I've done Terraplane, the band before Thunder, if you're interested in that one. With a very young-looking Luke Morley and Danny Bowles with less hair. I've seen Thunder a few times. I love Thunder. First time I saw Thunder, they were a support act, and they supported Heart. And then I saw them later on their second tour. I saw them on their third album tour, and then I didn't see them again until I saw them at Milton Keynes Bowl when they supported Deep Purple. They will be hard to rank, Ralph, because the Thunder albums were hard to rank because there isn't a bad album and there's not a bad track on any of them albums. I love Thunder. Laughing on Judgment Day is a great album. But I think that their latest album is actually up there with Backstreet Symphony and Laughing on Judgment Day. I love the latest album. I think it was my top album of last year. This year's is going to be tough. My album with the view of 2022. There's been so many good albums so far. I'm actually reviewing one tomorrow that's going to be up there. The new album, Unlimited Love, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Oh, it's an amazing album. And the good news is it's that classic lineup. Flea, Anthony Geddes, Chad Smith, and John Frusciante back in the fold. . Yeah, they're all together. Would RTO consider doing a regular BTO? RTO will be doing BTO. Yes. That reminds me of a TV show that Harry Enfield and Smashy and Nicey, and they used to play "You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet." Let's rock, and he used to have like this gear stick and go, "Let's rock." Yeah, I do like Bateman Turner and Overdrive. Great band. Like all the classic bands, they'll all get featured on here at some stage. You know, we've still got Journey to do, Boston to do. Grand Funk Railroad's coming up soon. Yes, they are, Rocky. Yes. Yeah, it's all sorts of. There's some of them classic bands between REO Speedwagon, Chicago, Jefferson Airplane. Yes, Chicago definitely. And I'm in the. Yeah, there's not many. I can do that one. Chicago now. I'm in the camp of early Chicago. Really. Yes, Mick, they have. I wouldn't be surprised that we do a live album show of Grand Funk. Because I did sort of listen to some of them as well while I was ranking. One of them was on, because most of I've listened to a lot of that on Spotify. When album finished, it went into a live album. Oh, it was amazing. Black Crowes, yeah. Black Crowes, definitely. Good band they were. Don't know if they're still going. Going to do some more prog. I'm going to have a bit of prog in there. Got a good prog one coming up in May. They're actually out on tour at the moment. Transatlantic. If you like your prog. If you do like prog and you've not heard it yet or watched it, watch the Sky Architect show. There's only 9-10 people watched it. If you like modern day prog, it's good. Also got the new Porcupine Tree album coming out. I think that's coming out in the summer. It's a new one from Def Leppard to come out. Megadeth have got a new album out. So it's going to be very hard for the end of year ranking. I might have to extend it to a few more. You can't leave out some of these albums. It's been a good year so far for new albums. Yeah, so next week we're not going to start. I'm not starting the Eric Clapton next week. I'm going to start it the week after because I just want to put something just to tidy up the Paul McCartney Wings. There's a certain 3 album live album that someone sort of not online, but a friend of mine said, "You've done Wings, but are you doing the live album?" Well, yeah, I suppose we can do the live album, and I love that live album. Back Together, Third Reformation. How many of the original Black Crowes, though? There's been a few members of the Black Crowes, I know that. REM. Oh, they've had a few. Yeah, they're on the list, Charles, before you ask. There's a lot of these bands are on a list that I initially did, and I'm not halfway through that list. I'm even about a quarter of the way because I had ones that I initially thought, right, we'll do this on this. And you guys keep asking me to do this and do that, which you gets priority because you guys ask. So every time that the stuff that I've actually put on the list, it gets pushed further down because people are asking. I don't know how many of the YouTube channels do more requests than me. I know people, they say they ask, you know, when you've all the people have asked. But, you know, when I look in people's the comment box, I can't find where people have asked. I mean, I know that when people do it on mine, I always reply straight away. Well, as soon as I read them. When people ask again. Because I prefer it, in all honesty, I prefer to rank what you've asked for these days. I know when I started, it was about doing what other people don't do, but things have changed, you know. We're now more popular and people are getting to know that I will rank anything within reason, of course. One day someone is going to actually ask me to rank something. I'll go, no. I mean, if anyone ever asks, say, oh, will you do Slayer? I'll do them because someone's asked. I think sometimes people get, when I say you're not a fan, yeah, lots of Wednesdays sorted out, which I do like because it does give me a bit of a challenge. I think that one of the worst comments that someone put, which I really did get a bit rattled about, when I first started, I did one on Bauhaus. Now, obviously, if you don't know, Bauhaus was a Northampton band. And when they come out in 1980, to have a band from your own town on top of the pops was pretty cool. And I'm not the biggest fan of Bauhaus, but I was very proud of the fact we'd got a band on top of the pops, and I've got one of their greatest hits album. But someone actually asked me to do a Bauhaus album ranking, and I did, and I enjoyed listening to the albums. And then some bright spark said he hates people that do album rankings of bands that they're not fans of. It's a challenge for any YouTube channel that ranks albums. Don't stay inside your comfort zone. Go outside it. I do. I'm always outside my comfort zone. At the end of the day, Depeche Mode's outside my comfort zone, but boy, am I not outside my comfort. Oh, yes, that plonker, yes, he was a bit of a plonker. I think I put something, A, I have got a compilation album, and B, they're from my hometown. Of course I like them. We've had some good bands from Northampton. Okay, we've had Imagination, but they were a Northampton band, very big. The Jets, the Northampton band. And Ian Hunter from Mott the Hoople is a Northampton boy. And before anyone says, yes, Mott the Hoople are on the radar, I think Mott the Hoople will first appear on the channel as a retro ranking. And then we'll do a studio album. Now, while talking of retro ranking, what is what you guys think, like I've done for a few bands? If there's bands, when I've done an album ranking, but obviously there's a lot of non-album singles, do you like the idea that we do mention them in a retro ranking special? Because I don't know if it's over too much or it's not. I mean, if you're watching this later at your leisure, just can you put some comments in the box? Because we're doing an album ranking next week, and then which misses off quite a chunk of their biggest hits. We're not even on the albums. So again, I want to do a retro ranking on their singles, because you can't talk about some of these bands without their singles. I mean, how could you do a Wings ranking without mentioning Mull of Kintyre? You can't. how can you do Rolling Stones without mentioning Paint It Black? Okay, the American albums had it on, but here in Blighty we didn't. So just like to see what you guys think. If it's good now and again to throw a special in the following week just to clear up the music. Yeah, Eric Clapton. Talking of Eric Clapton, apart from listen to a couple of albums to finish off the solo stuff, everything's ready. So Coldplay, no. That will be boring because it'll be, this is crap. This is boring. This is sending me to sleep. I think I like about 3 tracks by Coldplay. I think of other bands that I prefer to rank before Coldplay. I prefer to rank Oasis before Coldplay. I was watching a thing on TV the other night about the Manic Street Preachers. That was pretty good. So I thought, oh, I haven't thought of that one. Yeah, I'd agree with you, Charles. That first album was pretty good, but then it just went downhill from there, didn't it? Bit like Guns N' Roses, really. That'd be an interesting show, wouldn't it? Bands that have released, the first album was brilliant, and then it just went down the pan. Think of 1 or 2 bands like that. See, I was more of a, if he was going for that sort of poppy stuff, Strawberry Alarm Clock or Sky Sunshine, Saxon and the Seeds. I'm lost here. Am I? Supergrass were better, yes. Early Suede, yes. See, I like some of the Blur stuff as well. I did a then and now on Blur. Psychedelic groups, oh, I'm all for that. Yeah, I'll search through some psychedelic groups. It just shows how old we are all here, doesn't it, really? I'd love to have a youngster come in and come and put a cat amongst the pigeons. Right, let's write that down. Cooler Shaken. Now, they're 2 bands we might have a look at. I'll add them to the list. See how some of the modern bands. See, I don't mind Greta Van Fleet. I think they're quite good. And I've done Wolf Alice, and I quite like them. They're pretty good. I think I've actually done the newer bands that I've listened to. Creeper, I don't mind them. They're pretty good. Oh, notice one. Still got a band that John Sykes formed, Blue Murder. Like a bit of Blue Murder. Still got a few Marillion live albums to rank as well. And a mate of mine who's a big Marillion fan said to me, he said, you've ranked all the albums, all the live, and he says, but you've forgotten some songs off the B-sides. So he said, Curved Air, they're a good band. So he says, what about, you've got to do a retro ranking on non-Marillion album songs. And I thought, yeah, he's right, because there's 1 or 2 of them songs that are brilliant. One being, of course, the mighty Grendel. So, yes, I have done a GTR show. Yes, and I did do both. I did the official release and the second album that wasn't released, but I managed to find all the tracks on YouTube. Yeah, it's in there, Mick, GTR. And I've got a live album by them as well. Jay Gow's band, Centerfold. Yes. So add that to this. This will go in the big black book. It's that poll thing we did, wasn't it? End poll, yeah, we'll end the poll now. I think we've established that we've got to do Pink Floyd. So we do Pink Floyd. We'd better do at some stage as well Dave Gilmour and Roger Waters and Richard Wright. I've got a couple of Richard Wright solo albums, and they're just amazing. Has anyone listened to any of the Richard Wright albums? Gomez. You're bringing in some great ideas, Ralph. Yeah, you're always welcome with these ideas. Because I think my music sort of ended really good bands in the 80s. If you come up with some good 90s bands, yeah, I'm going to do the Smiths. Or maybe, that's what I was debating, but I am going to do the Smiths now. Because the playlist that I did for my top 10, I just keep playing it now. Put it on, doing the housework, doing cooking, ironing. On comes the playlists. I'm looking forward to listening to the Stray Cats one. I put it together. Elastica, good grief. There's all these bands coming out of the woodwork tonight. Yeah, if you're watching this at a later date, lots of you do. If you've got any ideas, just pop them in the comments box. 3 Wizard albums. Yeah, we haven't done Wizard yet. I'm actually doing a Wizard retro ranking soon. The thing is, with them, the retro rankings, 9 times out of 10, someone will ask me to do a full album ranking on them. So that's one band we're doing. Another band I started listening to, bit of a proggy band, Renaissance, Northern Lights, and all that sort of good stuff. Might do some Canterbury scene stuff. That's a bit fruity and freaky. But hey ho, that's what it's all about. Well, I've been going for an hour and a half tonight, not like last week. I'm surprised that all them people have watched it. Because it did go on a bit last week, didn't it? As usual, I've done what I had to say, and this is just talking music, which is fantastic. Alan Parsons Project, yes, I've got that on the list. Can't be a bit of Alan Parsons Project. Talking of, that's just reminded of a band that old Mr. Pardo keeps going on about, Pat Travis. Or the thing. I actually listened to one of his albums. Well, I listened to one that Pete goes on about and saying this, and it is superb. I never heard Pat Travis But yeah, I was really impressed. So yeah, so I'll be listening to a bit of Pat Travis, bit of Styx, a bit of Styx, because everyone remembers Styx for just doing the sloppy. Alice, yeah, Alice Cooper, yeah, I'm gonna do that. That has been asked for, and it's now on the list. It's actually been put in this book now, so I'm going to split it up. I've decided to rank the albums as Alice Cooper, the band, and then Alice Cooper, the solo artist, because there's 28 albums, and I thought the best way to do it is split it up. So we'll do Alice Cooper, the band, and then Alice Cooper. So yeah, that'll come up probably. I think by the time I've got through to them, we're probably thinking summertime. Summertime for Alice Cooper, for all you Alice Cooper fans. Yes, Ralph, that is a good album. That is one album I do like. Also, offshoots of other bands that we've already done. Obviously, we've done Judas Priest. Going to do Rob Halford's solo career. Also, Udo from Accept. I'm going to listen to his stuff. Started listening to Ronnie James Dio because someone asked me about it, and yes, I know what my top 3 are on that. It's just the other ones that I'm not quite sure on, so I'm not going to listen to the top 3 because I know my top 3. Now, Charles, I've heard this about this album. I am very tempted to listen to it. Have you heard it, Charles? Oh, what's it, Alan? Oh, you're very welcome. I forget. I'm not being funny, but I do forget who asked for what. Yeah, Chris Rea. Yeah. Is it good? Is it that good? When did it come out? Is it sort of a new album? I'll check that out. If it's reasonably real, I'll do it as a latest album review if it's that good. I mean, I know she's good because one of the channels that I subscribe to on YouTube is Howard Stern, and she's always on. And I think she's got a great voice. I mean, she did that thing with Metallica, didn't she? No, was it Metallica and Elton John? Oh, dear. I'll give it a listen anyway. I'll give it a listen. I'll tell you who I do like are the modern singers, female singers, and that's Lady Gaga. I think Lady Gaga's terrific. She writes great songs. She's got a great voice. And she sits down at a piano and plays it. She's not getting other people to do it. She is an all-round musician. And hats off to her. I have some weird dress sense, but as a musician, I can't knock her. She's very talented and a lady that will be around for a very long time. You see, I used to like Amy Winehouse. I thought she was a terrific singer. And I liked her because she did that more jazzy blues sound. And I thought she was a terrific singer. So sad what happened to her. All right, I'll check that one out as well. Yeah, I'm going to do Janis Joplin as well on a retro ranking. That woman had an amazing set of lungs. Pity she filled it with nasty substances. So, well, yeah, we've got that coming up. Mamas and Papas are coming up on a retro ranking. Quite a few good retro rankings coming up. Cliff Richard, Shawaddy Waddy. Oh, dear. I don't recommend drinking this quick. Dave knows what I like when I drink rather high-proofed beer. A Thin Lizzy Retro, yeah. Done the albums, but yeah, pick my favourite tracks. God. Yeah, love the Mamas and Papas, Mick. It's that Californian sound in it. It's just, yeah. I think the best thing I heard is when I was in Chicago. You'd like a seat in a quiet place and time to savour the brew. Yeah, when I was in Chicago, I actually went to a proper blues club, and I saw a young lady called Shirley Johnson, who was a distant relative of the great Robert Johnson. I'll tell you what that bar was like. You couldn't buy a draft beer. It was bottled beer. Or they'd sell you a bottle of JD. And it was at the time where the pound and the dollar, for £1 you'd get $2. I think they were charging us $12 for a bottle of JD. I think it was a couple of dollars a shot or $12 for this bottle of JD. So we immediately went for the bottle of JD. It's great. What, sitting in a blues bar, drinking Jack Daniels, and watching a relative of Robert Johnson. Unbelievable. Folks, I have got to leave you for 2 seconds because guess what? Come on then. Right. Not content when just doing what he needed to, he decided to go run down the blooming courtyard bit just to have a sniff. God, come on, I said Dad's busy. I'm doing Manfred Mann and the Earth Band, yeah, they're sort of on the list somewhere. Oh. Trouble is, he knows when there's bits here. I'll just give him a little. All right. Right, as again, by the time I finish this, I shall be rounding it up for the evening. Going to listen to my new audio book because it was credit day yesterday. And this time I've not gone for a rock book or a history book, gone for a sporting thing, and I've gone with an evening with Johners. And for those of you outside the UK, Brian Johnson was a cricket commentator. My favourite decade for music, probably the 70s. If you're talking general music, I love the 70s. So I even like some of the pop stuff from the 70s. I grew up in the 70s as a young lad. I like all sorts of stuff from the 70s. There's even some David Cassidy songs I like from the 70s. The one that got banned. There's one that got banned by the BBC because it was found to be a bit rude. But that's the BBC for you. Yeah, outside the rock scene in the 70s, there's some great music around. Yeah, so I'd say definitely the 70s for me. But then again, I was around as well at the birth of the new wave of British heavy metal. So, and that sort of elevated what I've been listening to another level. What is good about when when you speak to a lot of youngsters, a lot younger, and that were born around about that time, and they've said they sort of envy that I was born when I was, and that I was around for the new wave of British heavy metal. They sort of think, God, what a time to. Badfinger, yes. They're a good band, Ralph. Lone Star as well, yeah. All good bands. All good bands that I'm sure that they'll get featured on here eventually. I mean, you can't never run out of stuff to rank for you. There's enough out there. Oh, here he goes again. What do you want this time? You've had everything. Or you're just moaning because you want to? Hey? Well, there he is. He's sitting there just looking. When he's got his ears up like that, it's normally because he wants something. He's the most vocal dog you'll ever meet. Wait. Shh. Well, we get the late 70s. You got, Van Halen appeared on the scene. And, Aerosmith were doing well. ZZ Top. Blue Oyster Cult. Budgie. There was also some really good bands. The Groundhogs, I think they were called. I can't remember. Something like that. All good bands. Nazareth. If you like Nazareth, there is a show on Nazareth. And if you like your new wave of British heavy metal and you haven't seen it yet, there is a Diamond Head. Very underrated band. There's that story about Diamond Head that they supported Metallica when they played the Milton Keynes Bowl. And this is a true story. Obviously, we were there. And well, we got in some. Well, I won't say how we got to the tickets to this, because put it this way, I didn't pay for the tickets. I was just given some tickets, and you know, when you get free tickets, you'll go to any gig. And basically, Diamond Head come on, and they opened up with "Am I Evil?" And there was these Metallica fans in front of us going, "Oh, this is a rip-off. They're ripping off a Metallica song." And my friend bent down, because he was quite tall, and he went, "Sonny Jim, it's the other way round." No. Yeah. They did a cover of this. This is older than you, this song. And that made my day, that did. And these young somethings were saying that Diamond Head were ripping off Metallica. I saw my mate and I said, "No, it will go the ears as well," and he didn't. He doesn't mix his words. It was quite funny. It really was. See these kids' faces dropped like that. And I was like, "No, it's true." He says, "But wouldn't tell a lie. Am I Evil's off the first Diamond Head album that came out in 1980 something." Yeah, that was an interesting gig. The first real flashy concert I ever went to, apart from Diamond Head. But it cost me nothing, so I can't grumble really. It was an interesting day out. It was a nice day out, actually. Let's see some different bands. Half the time we heard some. I can't even remember who was on that bill. I mean, obviously we sat through the Diamond Head because we were all living old guys, well, young guys, but older. Whenever all the thrashy stuff come on, I think we all went to the bar. I think we did that. What was it? Was band with? I think when we first saw Guns N' Roses, was it Donington or something? And they come on and did the first song, and Axl Rose was swearing like a trooper. And my mate looked at me and says, "Let's go and get a pint." this bloke waffling on. Play some music. And my friend did say that to Phil Mogg from UFO. It was 1 2 1 2, and he said, "Get on with it." Yes, we went to some funny some gigs, man, in Birmingham. I think we saw Bartley James Harvest, Blue Oyster Cult, all these bands that we loved. You know, we was young. You know, when we went to see them, we was all in our, you know, very early teens, or late teens, sorry. And there'd all these old blokes there, and there was us, and they loved it that we were there watching Bartley James Harvest, Blue Oyster Cult. The only song you'd know is "Don't Fear the Reaper." No, we know lots of these songs. They're better than "Don't Fear the Reaper." Right, I'm going to wrap up tonight. And I think Rocky agrees, because he knows now that he'll get my undivided attention for at least another hour before we go to bed. So, once again, thank you for being here. And thank you, Ralph, for joining us. I hope we see you next week. Enjoy. Go and look at some of the videos that are out there that we've been talking about. There's plenty there for you to watch. I'm sure you'll find something. You've come up with some really good ideas as well. Thanks to Charles, Mick, and Alan as ever. And thank you for Dave for supplying all the info. And for me and Rocky, we will see you all next week. Yeah, good night, Mick. Thank you for joining us all the way from America. Well, me and Rocky will be back here next week. So will Dave. And don't forget tomorrow, ELO live stuff, all to do with ELO. And the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So have a good evening. Have a great Easter, everyone. And I will see you all soon. Bye for now. Yeah, see you next week. Bye. 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 Bye.